in response to Channing Crowder's clip on the Pat McAfee Show this morning that there should be no minor pro developmental leagues in pro football. This from a former Miami Dolphins linebacker, now retired, Channing Crowder, on Pat McAfee. And he was saying to Pat, name me anybody that came from the XFL and the Alliance. There's not many, but as McAfee and his guy Gump pointed out, Tommy Maddox is one. Who cares how many there are? Now, P.J. Walker, the MVP of the XFL last year, signing with the Carolina Panthers. He's with the Panthers now. So what? Because you could go straight from college to the NFL, screw everybody else? How selfish and prickish of a comment is that? How about all the coaches that work in these developmental leagues, the thousands of players, the $3,500 a year that come out of NCAA that maybe won't go to the NFL but can play somewhere else? What a jerk thing to say. What about single A, double A, triple A baseball for development? What about American Hockey League, East Coast Hockey League? We talked about Lane Pedersen the other night scoring for the Arizona Coyotes in his first game in the NHL after 170 games in the American Hockey League because he was developed. Not everybody can go directly from major junior college to the major leagues. What the hell? And why should we listen to you just because you feel that way? Step out of your own damn self and think about all your friends that played in those leagues. I can't believe how selfish that is of Channing Crowder to say that. And secondly, Fan Control Football League, I loved it. I was watching it every Saturday night. I said Arena Football League meets WWE. I don't know who these guys are. Yeah, I was watching because of Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon. Sure. Marshawn Lynch. That's not the point. The guys on the field deserve my respect because they put the pads on and went out there and knocked heads and, in a way, prolonged their career. It was a chance to get to the National Football League. It doesn't matter who the stars are. It's about entertainment, prolonging careers. I'm shocked that Channing Crowder would say that. You? You better agree, man. I'm fired up on this.
I do agree. I don't think, I understand why Channing Crowder would say that, and the leagues have failed, and they haven't produced meaningful players into the leagues. But they haven't been fully embraced as developmental leagues either. The NFL's not sending their young players to these leagues. They're keeping them on their practice rosters. So it hasn't been developed or created as a developmental league. You have to put that in place. The NFL needs to have some interest, some vested financial interest, and they actually have to embrace it as a financial league. But absolutely, we need more places for professionals to play because it is so difficult to go from playing university football, playing college football, NCAA to the pros. We know the high-end guys can do it, but how many guys go in, you get one opportunity, it doesn't go well, and you're done. You don't get a chance to go and develop. So absolutely, the developmental leagues play a massive factor, and they can. If you take it seriously, treat it as a developmental league, you have buy-in from the big leagues, it can work. And, saying it's not good enough and nobody's going to be interested in because the football's not good enough, that has nothing to do with why people consume what they consume. It's about entertainment. So if you provide entertaining football that can attract attention, people will watch. It doesn't have to be the best product on the field for people to want to watch it. So, yeah, I think it's short-sighted, the comments. I really do.
Armando Moreno in Mexico City says, and actually that comment included the CFL since it is also an alternative league. What a short-sighted view. Chad Isaac says, Caleb Hawley came from the Sioux Falls Storm to the Riders, same as Corey Williams, Arena Football. Ryan McCarthy, watching in Saratoga, New York, says, once upon a time, NFL Europe was considered a developmental league. Oh, yeah, but we can't have that. No, we can't have the CFL considered as a farm league. We can't have that. I'm obviously not a soccer guy. I've made that very clear in the last 12 minutes. But is MLS not a 4th or 5th ranked soccer league in the world, on the planet? And they seem to be doing fine with 30 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, Channing Crowder should be ashamed of himself. And I say this, Darren and I just had this meeting this morning. The concept of empathy is not feeling sorry for somebody else. Empathy is not sympathy. Empathy is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, being able to step outside of yourself to feel what somebody else is feeling, not feeling sorry for those people that didn't make the NFL. Channing Crowder only cares about himself, and that's what pisses me off. In this whole pandemic, people only think about themselves. I put on Twitter from my recovery account, what have you learned in this pandemic? The responses were, I learned I could cook. I learned that I could change the oil in my car. I learned this about myself. I'm like, did anybody want to look outside themselves of what they've learned about society, people's mindsets, how we're all in it for ourselves, that we're not actually in this together? Nobody thinks outside their own head. Channing Crowder, 101 on that. He should not be listened to.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.